Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. I woke one up. I tried it was not going to work out well, but I got one kid awake just because there's so much to talk about, and I wanted to make sure there was at least one of them. So Charlie's here having a little breakfast, and some of you are in the chat. So let's say hello to those folks like Perry, who is tailgating with some really unusual emojis. I see running. It looks like, is that a pinky? And then a mountain. I don't even know. I can't even break that down. And then
Up mountain.
This one is like, I don't even know what emojis I'm doing anymore.
More questions?
We got Rob Boswell in the chat. What is going on, my man Rob? He's apparently in Florida recently, along with this gentleman. What is up, Rod? Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. It sounds like Rob went to Disney World. All right. So he was in Orlando. Tony Lewis in England. He says currently drawing Batman in a coffee shop in Bristol. That sounds like a good way to spend a Saturday, my man. Although it's probably Saturday evening, so Saturday night. Simon R., good morning. Hope your Saturday is getting off to a good start with you and your lady Ariel Red. Hope you're doing well with your man there. Got Lady Fantastic. I was live at the same time as Lady Fantastic last night, so missed out on Lady Fantastic's show last night, but I'm going to be catching that on the replay this morning. And I was over on Old Wolf's channel doing one of his late night drinking shows. I only lasted 1 hour, but they went 3. So if you want to catch some of the shenanigans over there, you should check out
Tony's
channel.
You only went 1 hour because I wanted to sleep and you were on the other.
I was being nice about it. Sure. Let's frame it that way. Not Dad was tired and ready for bed. Good morning, friends. So there's plenty of great comic book stuff to talk about. Plenty of great shows, movies, books, things going on that we want to mention and get to. So I just want to make sure that everybody's okay with the fact that we might get into some Miss Marvel spoilers at some point. We're fully caught up on Obi-Wan Kenobi, so we can talk some Obi-Wan. We've talked Stranger Things last weekend, so I don't think we'll get into that again, but we are fully caught up on that as well. We haven't seen any movies in theaters, so I know that there's Top Gun and Jurassic World and all these other things. That stuff, we have not made time for that.
6 Jurassic World movies.
There are 3 Jurassic Park movies and 3 Jurassic World movies.
6.
So 6 total. This was supposed to be the big finale. But you know how it is. If it makes a ton of money, they'll just make more. And that's just modern movie making. Kenneth Bird is here. Good morning, Kenneth. Lady Fantastic is telling the truth. Yeah, Old Wolf can definitely go with the best of them. It is currently 4:30 in the evening in Tony's in Bristol, England. I hope things are going well. I went early Claremont X-Men and then threw in my earliest slab, which is the first appearance of Banshee. Just threw in some fun oldies to go up there. Gus is here. He says, Mr. John, you should evaluate my comic book collection and give me an expert opinion on the value. Well, I don't know how I would do that, but if you're on Instagram, hit me up and I'd like to hear about it. We got my soul brother in the chat. We got Kirk from Comics on the Mind. I hope your weekend is getting started well, Kirk. I haven't seen you in the chat in a while. I hope things are going well. I got, and maybe this is for you, Tony. I got some. I got tea this morning. I'm not drinking coffee. I know you're in a coffee shop, so maybe you're a Brit having coffee in England, and I'm an American having tea in America. Interesting. Yeah. So, Charlie, I think we should talk about Miss Marvel. What do you think?
Go.
So 2 nights ago, we all finally had a chance on Thursday night to sit down and watch the first episode of Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel on the Disney Plus channel. My wife, my girls, we all sat down. We've pretty much seen everything that Marvel's had to produce. We've all watched it all together. What did you think, Charlie?
I really liked it. I liked her change in powers.
From the comic books where she's just like Mr. Fantastic stretchy to like this kind of, she's still stretched, right? We saw her go whoop with her hand,
Yeah.
but there's like this crystal
Yeah.
energy thing.
Which is really cool. I like her personality.
Yeah.
And how she constantly is like distracted. And I think it reminds me a lot of her in the comic books. And I like how she says things where it's like, so do I have to figure out my future before lunch? Or is there like
she's got a great sense of humor, right?
Yeah.
Kamala's got a great sense of humor.
And I like
and that actress has got really good comedic timing. Like she delivers funny lines really well. What's up, Roscoe? Good morning, man.
She looks like Haley Steinfeld to me.
She has a Haley Steinfeld kind of thing going. I think the two of them together could be very funny.
That would be perfect.
As Hawkeye and Miss Marvel together, right? I think that could be, because now they're both in the MCU.
And Black Widow.
You talking about Yelena?
Yeah.
So put the three of them together, those three ladies, that could be very entertaining.
Because one of them is just like, oh my god. And the two of them would be like best friends. And the other one's like,
yeah. So what do you think about this? Miss Lady Fantastic is saying that she likes it. The instead of doing the whole, oh, she's an Inhuman and let's explain what Inhumans are and do all that stuff, simply giving her this cool family heirloom, this bracelet, and gives her the power. Yeah. It's kind of a cool way to solve that, right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I like it like that better.
You do?
Yeah.
Inhumans are a tough sell. I think some people really like the Inhumans. Other people don't really get it. Don't really. They're a niche kind of group inside of Marvel.
Like they're just mutants.
They have a similar to mutants thing where like at a certain age you just all of a sudden you cocoon or whatever. You're selected and you become an Inhuman and you get your power and whatever. There's a similarity to that, right? What's up, Lasso, singing the Kate and Charlie morning song? We are not having bagels this morning. I decided to make some cinnamon toast for the girls and some eggs. Did you watch the Inhumans show, Kurt? Because I didn't really care for the show. I don't mind some of the characters, and I love Charlie like as well. I think loves Lockjaw. Do you know who Lockjaw is, Charlie?
He's the big doggy.
He's the big teleporting dog.
That actually Kamala gets him in the comic book.
In the comics, she does have him for a stretch, right? So
maybe we get Lockjaw.
JP is here. Good morning, JP. Hope you're doing all right. I know you stayed up a little later based on time zones than I did last night. And Chaos, too. We were all there on Chaos, JP and I, along with Mad Spidey and Entropy and Comics. We were all joining Tony last night on Old Wolf's late night drink hangout. So you at least know Lockjaw, and we obviously know Black Bolt. Whether you saw him in the Doctor Strange movie or whether you read about him in comics and stuff, you know. And Medusa, do you know her? She's an Inhuman with the hair. She was a member of the Fantastic Four for a while,
and then she left.
So you're totally cool with changing her a little bit of her powers and how she gets them, because that's really the only change, right? In the comics, she's the same funny kind of style. Her family issues kind of the same. Her desire to be a superhero kind of the same. Like all the rest of it works, right? They just changed that one side of it. And for me, I had no problems with that change. And I thought it was kind of cool. The way they kind of did that, the way they set that up worked for me a bunch. More important to me was getting the character right, and they totally got Kamala right. You know, I also love, and your sister kept mentioning the style of the show. You want to say anything about that while you're eating your fruit, or you have a cherry pit in your mouth? Okay. The style of the show, and I heard several people compare it to Scott Pilgrim, but the style of the show was really, really cool. Oh, looks like Magic Lasso is making a play for the bottom row of my books here. Well, here's the funny part about it. Lasso, like, sorry, Charlie, you got to move out of the way. That one is the same as that one. That one is the same as that one. And then Dun 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 dun. I got a lot of twinsies. Two. Sadly, I don't have two of some of the other ones, but I have doubles of some of those. I'm not sending you any of those, but I have doubles of a bunch of those. Yeah, there's a lot of doubles. Don't send them over here, Lady Fantastic. Will Spidey and Ms. Marvel interact? Because that would be awesome, right? And I know she said, the girl who plays Kamala, and I can't remember the actress's name. She said that the film or the episodes felt like Scott Pilgrim mixed with Spider-Man Homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The first Spider-Man, Tom Holland, movie. So it was a little bit of that. What is up, Chillmonger? Good morning to you. How's it going today? Last night, 3 people had a first appearance of Banshee. Yeah, this is ultimately what inspired that chaos. Somebody pulled it out. I pulled out mine. And before long, there were, Kevin had his, I had mine, and somebody else, I think it was Mad Spidey maybe, had his. It was crazy.
No good.
Miles Morales could be a cool person to hang out with her. I want Secret Warriors with Moon Girl and Kamala Khan. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur is on its way, but I believe I heard that was animated, or am I wrong? Maybe somebody can correct me. I had heard maybe the wrong thing on that. I don't know.
Because if you think about it, it's kind of hard to have a giant dinosaur in every single shot. Basically.
Yeah, you have to do a lot of CGI because every time you use her, you got the dinosaur. Okay, Monger's saying it's animated. Okay, good. Then I'm right. My brain's working. I was hoping they would bring Luna in to the MCU, but I get it. It's a lot to animate. A lot to do. Let's see here. Lasso's ready to play with Banshee, and so is Lady Fantastic. So look, all of us Banshee friends. We're screaming Banshee friends together. Moon Girl is on the Runaways show with the dinosaur. Oh, really? Okay. Jurassic Park. So the style of the show. What did you think of the way they used? Because they use her drawings, right, all through it, like this sort of fun animation stuff.
Yeah, especially in the end credits,
in
the buildings, they have the cool her or maybe a scene from the book.
I
liked when because if you watch part of the trailer, you have her sitting on a lamppost.
Yes, I use that as our thumbnail for this. You want to see it?
She does in the comics.
Yeah, just like that. I love that they do that.
I liked when they were texting each other. You missed that part. But when they were texting each other.
I missed it? What was I doing? Making my dinner?
I think so. But there was a part where it's she was going to bed and she turned the stars on in her room.
Okay.
And she was trying to tell, what's his name, Bruno?
Her buddy?
Yeah.
Her best friend? I think it's Bruno, yeah. We don't talk about him, though.
She was trying to text him and let him know that her mom said no to AvengerCon. So she said she said no, and in the stars in the ceiling it says she said no. And then he typed a sad face, and then a light in the shop blared, and it was a little sad emoji. And she was saying, why? Or you good? Or mad face.
Yeah.
It was just kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Perry's emojis were running up a hill, the Kate Bush song.
I said
with
that.
no question. Is that what you said it was?
I was running uphill.
The Kate Bush song, right?
I just didn't think of it as a song.
Perry's apparently obsessed with her right now. He must have watched most of Stranger Things. Chillmonger has the moment of the show for me. The moment of the show where they took it from being, rude, inflexible mom, sweet little girl, and they turned it into something better, which was parents who are trying but not succeeding, and kid who is really inflexible and not necessarily hearing his parents or her parents. I think that this moment made it way more than just right and wrong. It made it far more gray. And that made the family relationship so much more interesting, so much more powerful. This made a huge dent in the authenticity of the teenage drama between parent and kid for me. And when dad comes in dressed as Hulk, and he's made an effort to try to connect to his daughter, and he's made an effort to try to find a middle ground and a compromise between his wife and his daughter, and it just blows up in his face. I was like, dang, that hurt. That hit hard. That moment was the moment for me of the show.
And I would have gone to you in the whole costume.
Well, of course you would have.
Because it would have been really funny.
You would have been like, dang, why did you cover yourself with green paint? And why is there green paint all over the house? There's Kevin, one of the other homies from last night. Let's see. I missed some comments from Gore. He's saying, I've never seen a Stranger Things episode, but I'm glad Kate Bush has been introduced to a new audience. There you go. Perry's only on episode 2. Get yourself together, man. There's a video of Big Boy from Outkast talking about how much he loved the Kate Bush album when it first dropped. There it goes. It was 10 times more harsh than the eye roll that Charlie just did at my Bruno joke. There you go. Perry's got the whole album. Look at that. Everybody's talking about Kate Bush albums. There you go.
Oh, yesterday in class, my teacher, he was playing music, and because we're building electric cars, and then I heard the running up that hill, and I was like, I heard the beginning, and I was like, is this a Stranger Things playlist? And he was like, yep.
There you go. Perry, I just sent you a rad version of that song that says Geek with Roscoe. Look at that. Sharing the music here. Gore says, Hounds of Love. I have all her albums. You won't be disappointed. An enchanting storyteller, says Gore Vidal. Look at that. I didn't realize there was so much Kate Bush love in the world.
And I found out why that's her favorite song.
Whose favorite?
Max.
Why is that Max's favorite song?
Because we could deal with God and get him to swap our places. With Billy.
There's a metaphor there for her brother that she lost, do you think? Perry, you got to finish that Stranger Things, brother. There's a lot of good stuff in there, man. How's the toast? Did I do it okay? I mean, it's really just butter, sugar, cinnamon, and bread. It's kind of hard to mess up cinnamon toast. I don't make cinnamon toast too often for the girls, so this is kind of like a treat. Like, oh, I'll do something different. And there you go. Some cinnamon toast. Doing it up. Wuthering Heights is a great track. There you go. Look. Oh, but I hate that book. I'm not a big fan of the book. What's up?
It got me to come out here.
It did. Yeah, cinnamon toast got Charlie out of bed this morning. Any other moments or any other things you want to mention? We talked about the style of the show. We talked about the actress, how great she is. We talked about the visuals. We talked about the dad and the mom. Did I miss anything? Was there anything else you wanted to mention about Kamala Khan and Miss Marvel? Obviously, thumbs up, right? We liked it a lot. And I think everybody in the house really, really, really enjoyed it. I mean, Kate was freaking out all through it. She was like, oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's so cool. Like she was saying that a bunch.
I just feel like her struggle right now, not Kate, Kamala, is that everybody kind of wants to pick her future. And then when she wants to pick it, she hears others, like she mentioned that, how she was getting like fitted for a dress for her brother's wedding. And she heard the moms talking about a girl who went to Europe to find who she is. And how they were all gossiping and thinking how she's horrible. Like, God, what a horrible daughter. And then she went and she told, like, Bruno, I think she was like, I want it. Like, what if I want to explore the world? And all I would do is come back to see all the aunties, like, gossiping about me. It's just kind of like,
yeah, it's sad.
This will help her.
Yeah.
And it's funny how
there's a lot of tough dynamics in that family, huh? In that household, for sure.
It was funny how you said she's not flexible. Because now she's stretchy with the stretcher.
I did think this was odd that the Avengers Con was at night only. That was something that was weird. You'd think it would be an all-day thing that they could, but maybe that was the issue. Maybe it was an all-day thing, and she couldn't get there till late because otherwise it would be noticeable that she was. So they were just making it for the last hour or the last thing at the very end of the day, which was this contest. I couldn't quite understand the timing of it either. I'm very sorry, Gore, that I've yet again hit a nerve on a book that clearly means a ton to you. I will say I had a very interesting experience reading Wuthering Heights. So I had a really great English teacher in high school. I had him as a freshman and I had him as a senior, and he did like honors and then AP English. So he had the kids at the beginning, and then you went to a few other teachers in the middle, and then as a senior you had him again. And he was always finding new and different ways to kind of expose us to things. And whether that was watching the play Much Ado About Nothing, or whether that was, in the case of Wuthering Heights, doing an overnight reading of it. So what he did was he had us bring sleeping bags and snacks and food and things, and we slept in the library at the school overnight as seniors in high school. And we started reading the book, I don't know, around dinner time. And we finished the book at breakfast. And we read it all through the night. And at one point, I think we stopped and watched the movie. And people were allowed to sleep if they wanted to sleep. But then we finished the book. It was a very exciting way to read it. I was just bored to tears by this book. I really just did not enjoy it. So I'm sorry that it was, but it was an exciting way to read it. And it certainly felt different than anything I'd read before. Now Kevin's looking for some cinnamon toast. There you go. I don't think you eat Naples. I don't know what that means. What's up, Werewolf by Lunchtime? Good to see you. One of her, Lady Fantastic said, one of her honors professors back in college was a Rhodes Scholar, and her project was getting her PhD in Victorian Lit, and she actually lived in the Bronte sister home. That's pretty cool. What's going on, Trailblazing? What's going on? Good to see you. Top of the morning to you as well. We sort of veered from Ms. Marvel and how much we liked it into literature that we read in high school and high school teachers that we had that we really appreciated. I mean, that same teacher I had in high school is the one who made me fall in love with Shakespeare. And we read, I think, 4 or 5 Shakespeare plays over the 2 years that I had him. We did Julius Caesar. We did Much Ado About Nothing, Romeo and Juliet, of course. We did Othello. We did... There was another comedy in there that I'm forgetting. It wasn't Midsummer Night's Dream, which I think is overrated. But we did several Shakespeare plays, and I fell in love with the language and the majesty, the beautiful language of Shakespeare because of him. Mostly just because he understood that it wasn't meant to be read like a book, that it was meant to be performed like a play. And so he cast it, and we would sit and read it. And occasionally he would stop us and let the performers stand up front so he could see them performing it a little bit. And it was really about capturing the moments. So it was really a beautiful way to understand it. And then, of course, we watched several different film versions of those plays. And I fell in love with it. And I got a huge appreciation for the actors who can really do Shakespeare well, and of course saw some great movies and plays. Sleepy dog, what's going on?
I ate.
You ate, and now it's sleepy time.
And we still promised Kate we would watch Romeo and Juliet. Remember the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio? The
Romeo and Juliet he did? Yeah. Which is a very unusual take on Romeo and Juliet, a more modernizing of it. What is going on, Legion? We are Legion, and I am. Yeah, I'm John.
I had a really cool...
Shakespeare on audiobook, if you get a really good recording, could be amazing for sure. Interesting teacher, John. No worries. John, I was 17 and read Wuthering Heights and Hamlet back to back. Heathcliff, Catherine, and Hamlet entered my bloodstream. There you go. That's a powerful 1-2 punch for sure. What's up, Bob? I wanted to remind everybody that Monday, and maybe you didn't catch the news, but for me it was big news. Monday, Bob and Bueller are back one night only, one morning only. They're doing comics and coffee again. So you better tune in. You want to see it one more time. Bueller is back from his first big round of traveling, and he and Bob got together, recorded a comics and coffee. So don't miss it Monday morning. It's happening.
I learned this cool fact about a Leonardo DiCaprio movie.
Oh, which one? The
Titanic.
Oh, about Titanic. Okay.
You know how he says at one part, like when she's gonna jump, like I jumped in, like I fell into a lake, like Montessori or something.
Okay, whatever. It was not Montessori, but then he fell into a lake and he names the lake. Yeah. Okay.
So somebody actually researched it, and that lake wasn't actually formed.
Okay.
Until after the Titanic sank.
So that lake would not have existed.
No.
So you're saying screenwriting mistake. Yeah. Well, the truth is that movie bends a little bit of the facts of a lot of different things. But is very true to what the event would have looked like, the sinking of the Titanic. And it does include several real people like the maker of the boat, the captain of the boat, and the unsinkable Molly Brown, right? Some of those people. Yeah. Lady Fantastic mentions Tale of Two Cities. I also, big time fell in love with that book. I thought Dickens did such an amazing job with that. And then later, Christmas Carol as well. And Dickens I found much more appreciation for. I was blown away by Dickens. Approaching the Hawkins stuff audio first before trying to read Universe in a Nutshell. I don't know that I understand what you're saying there. Possibly 2. They're going to try to do 2 shows. Oh man, that's exciting. I wonder if Shakespeare's English just said must work harder. I mean, maybe. I am not selling these. No, my X-Men collection would end up being the very last thing I would ever sell from my collection.
And you'd give it to us to sell.
I would not try to. Charlie, you should check out Romeo and Juliet with Leo in it. Baz directed it. Yeah, it's on our list of to do. It's definitely something that we want to watch. We got a busy day today, so we shall see.
Well, yeah, we have birthdays, right?
Triple G, good morning to you. Unsinkable Molly Brown says, was my first job as a union. What? You got to work with Debbie Reynolds? That's Princess Leia's mom. The Unsinkable Molly Brown is the kind of rich but not uptight lady on the boat who does nice things for Leo's character. Oh, yeah. And she lives at the end. She survives. Yeah. She got famous after the Titanic as this woman who a self-made millionaire kind of thing who survived the trip on the Titanic. And so there was a musical about her, and there's several movies about her as going through that event and surviving it. It was a big deal. And apparently Kevin worked on shooting one of those movies. Kind of cool. You'll never believe where the heart of the ocean was that entire time. You guys are hilarious. Molly Brown was originally going to be played by Reba McEntire in Titanic. I mean, Kathy. Yes, this is Kathy Bates's character. I love Kathy Bates. I can't imagine Reba playing that part. It's Kathy Bates all the way. If you can get Kathy Bates in your project, get Kathy Bates in your project. Kathy Bates is amazing. Womp womp.
Womp womp.
Okay. Do we want to move over to Obi-Wan Kenobi now? My girls are not their love of Star Wars is kind of going like this. I feel like I don't know what it is. Maybe it was just never super high to begin with. Maybe they've never just been like big Star Wars fans.
It was like I love Star Wars.
Yeah.
But then they kind of ruined it with all the shows. It was cool until they added Mandalorian, which was cool, but it's just the only reason I was even watching was because Baby Yoda.
Right.
So that kind of was like.
So you liked the Baby Yoda show.
I only liked the Baby Yoda part. I didn't like anything.
Didn't like Boba Fett until the Baby Yoda showed up because you liked the Baby Yoda there, although you never finished it, and Baby Yoda's in the last episode, but whatever.
Yeah, because I got mad at
You got mad that he left Baby Yoda with Luke. I know. You got mad about that. Spoiler.
Should have watched.
I'm not giving them away either. Sorry, Chillmonger. My bad. Do the girls have their own comic collections? And what title do they have the most of? For him, it's Spider-Man, says Bronze Page. So yeah, we'll get into Star Wars in just a second, but that's a really great question. Do you have your own comic collection?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got a bunch of short boxes that are not like if a short box is about this big, they've got boxes that are about that big, like half short boxes or 2/3 of a short box.
I've got 3x3, which is 9.
She's got
Kate's
9
got
of them
3
in her
times-
room.
And I think Kate's also got 3x3.
Does Kate have 9 as well? Something like that. They're the original short boxes that I had when I was collecting, and when I had my own collection to start. I had these tinier short boxes. And as I've moved into more traditional short boxes like these that I actually got through Bueller's hookup back in the day, I've been slowly transitioning my books out of those boxes and giving them to the girls. Now, if you had to say in your collection, which series of comics do you have most of? Like me, I probably have more boxes of X-Men mutant stuff than anything.
Well,
so what do you have more of than anything else?
It's a bit.
I can think of 2.
Oldies. I have a lot of oldies.
Be specific though. You want to
Archie.
So Charlie, I think number 1 in her collection is anything Archie and the Gang, Betty and Veronica, that whole Archie's Gang universe. Charlie probably has 2 or 3 little boxes of that, right?
And then
including the like Reader's Digest ones,
yeah.
the actual issues, the more modern stuff. She is an Archie queen. But second place would be
Flash.
The Flash. And this is a mix of a few different runs and a few different eras of The Flash, but it was
gifted them.
It was a gift from my friend Daymers. And when Adam, one of Adam's close friends, was a huge Flash fan, and he passed away and left his whole comic collection to Adam. And Adam was like, I don't know what to do with all these Flash books. My girls don't want them, and I don't know what to do with them. Would your girls like them? And I said, sure, my girls would love it. And he just shipped it all to us. Remember, there was like 4 huge boxes.
Oh yeah, and we spent like
comics.
a day just trying, or like maybe it was 2 days, like the weekend, just trying to sort it all out.
We sorted them all out. We put them in new bags and boards. We organized them based on like where they fit in order. So we knew like this book and then this book. And so we could try to figure out like how to read them if you wanted to try reading them. And then they filled about 3 of those little boxes, right? Just with the Flash. And it's a few different eras. So you get a few different, I think Wally West mostly, right?
Yeah.
It's mostly Wally West.
There's like one.
But a little bit of Barry Allen.
Barry Allen, yeah.
A little bit of Barry.
But no, I don't think it was the OG, the one with the helmet.
Oh,
Jay.
Yeah, Jay Garrett.
Jay. There was one of his because he was getting married.
Okay. Let's back it up here. I missed a bunch of great comments and people coming through here. So I hope that kind of answers it. Kate, on the other hand, has a real mixture. She doesn't have just one or the other. She's got a real mixture. I don't know that there's one character she has more than any other. Reba had to back out because they changed the filming dates. That's what happens. Let's see. Has Charlie seen Star Wars Rebels? We haven't watched more than 2 episodes of any animated Star Wars. Nobody really was. We watched 2 episodes of the first Clone Wars stuff, and nobody was like, oh, I need to watch more. Everybody was like, okay. So we never got further than that. Oops, sorry. Nope, don't want to put promiscuous in timeout. We got to say hello to Kyle. Good morning, man. I appreciate that, man. Good morning. I made sure to end my live. I didn't even know you were live. I got to make sure I got that notification bell hit right for you, man. I'm sorry about that. As a kid, I didn't know any girl that enjoyed Star Wars. In fact, the girls didn't understand why the boys liked it. We got strange looks. It was pretty funny. I will argue that is almost completely due to the fact that George Lucas never gave his female characters much to do in those movies. Even Princess Leia, who I love, and I think is like, I love Carrie Fisher, and I love that character. She never really had much to do. And you could argue that it was the era, the time. I disagree with that because we had characters like Ripley and we had characters that were active female heroes. I just feel like he preferred the male characters and was telling a father-son story and never really got beyond that. So that's kind of a drag.
Which is good because, but it also kind of helps now with Obi Wan. It's more of a daddy-daughter movie.
Now, some of the newer stuff has got a little other layers, right? NECA boxes are the ones with the art on them. Sure. Let's see here. Did I miss anybody? Jeff Schultz, good morning. One love from Chicago to you. Ignacio, what is going on? My Argentinian homie, how are things? Good to see you. I'm trying to think. Sister loves the Fantastic Four.
She has a lot of that.
She does have a fair amount of the Fantastic Four in different eras of the FF. She just likes the family dynamic. She likes the kids. I don't know that she likes Johnny and the Thing as much, except as comedy.
She likes it as comedy.
But she prefers Sue, Reed, and their kids. That's kind of what she's into there. Yes, I think that little girl is channeling a fun version of Carrie Fisher. It's a wonderful, like, love to Carrie Fisher kind of thing, right? Let's see here. So
Carrie Fisher would have liked meeting her.
I think she would have enjoyed watching someone play her as a young character. I think she would have laughed at that a lot. I'm trying to think of other things in your book. I know Kate loves the Stranger Things comics, so she's got a bunch of those. I know she loves the what's the like Ladybug and Cat Noir? What's that called? Miraculous. She's got some of those. So I don't know, but I don't know that she's got one character that she's got a ton of. What's up, Tony? He says, thanks for recommending Bizarre Adventures. He picked one up and he loved the black and white artwork. Awesome, man. I'm glad you really enjoyed it. It was a fun read for us as well. If I want a female story done right, let's start with a female lead. Not going to give too much credit for making the third actress well written. It's clever. Hard to disagree with that. Hard to disagree. Lady F says mostly she's got X-Men, Avengers, Black Panther, and Hulk. That's a great set for sure. John Byrne's run on fantastic. John Byrne's run on most things, right? Could just be. I've just grabbed the omnibus for his sensational She-Hulk. Had to get that. I'm excited to maybe get his Silver Surfer run in an Omni at some point. He's just lights out, right? Hey everybody, just been sitting here listening while he does other stuff. Well, I appreciate that, JP. And brother John, good morning to you. So most of my collection, I would say I've got 3 boxes just for Uncanny X-Men. I got a box for the New Mutants and X-Force. I have a box for like X-Factor and other mutant-related stuff. I have a box for Wolverine. So most of my comic collection, I would say a solid corner of my collection is just the mutant-related stuff. So if I just put mutants in one section or one category, I think you're talking about 5 or 6 short boxes at least. And that Wolverine box is not just Logan. It's like a split between Logan and the one that Charlie likes. Who's the other Wolverine that you like?
X-23.
X-23, right? So Laura has half of that box with Logan. They both have half of that. Looks like Bob says Daredevil, shocker. JP says Batman, Nightwing, shocker. Flash, I didn't know, Bob. I didn't know you liked Flash so much. That's kind of cool. I do have a fair amount of Batman. I've got 2 full Batman boxes, plus I have like a Bat Friends box that's got some Catwoman and some other stuff. So I have a fair amount in the Batman boxes as well. That's fair. Sold most of your Spawn stuff. See, I never got into Spawn. Coach Vic, what is going on, Coach Vic? It's good to see you, my friend. Let's see. I've already pledged the Uncanny boxes to Chillmonger, apparently. My bad. Based on the way the show showed the number 3 with your hand, I would lean towards yes. I don't know what that means. Based on the way that showed the number 3 with your hand. Is that like that? There you go. Do you have a German? I do have. Oh, I get it now. Sorry. I didn't read your first comment. Was it? She's making a Inglourious Bastards comment. That's a good Quentin Tarantino comment. Yes, my mom's father, so my grandfather, had 2 parents who spoke German at home. So his parents were from, I want to say, Hanover, and they came probably around World War I. That side definitely had German ancestry for sure. So my mom's side, that's big. My dad's side is almost exclusively English, British, a little bit of Wales, but London, England, we had family. Despite the last name Jameson, have not found an Irish ancestor anywhere. My dad has a little bit of Dutch or Netherlands ancestry, but not much beyond. It's very British, very British. Let's see.
In German, it's pronounced.
But I also work at a German school, and I've worked at a foreign language school most of my life. So this has become like pretty much like constant counting 1, 2, 3, right? So that I've worked at that school for almost 15, 20 years. So that's part of it. Beethoven's birthplace in Bonn. All right, there you go. I've been to Mozart's birthplace in Austria, Salzburg. I've been there. What are you doing?
I was trying to see who asked if
Lady Fantastic says they were poor German farmers on my dad's side and Scottish Irish on my mom's side. That makes sense. My dad had his ancestors were very poor, and the one from the Netherlands was an indentured servant who came to the U.S. and worked in a like hotel restaurant place in somewhere in the New World in one of the colonies, and then was successful enough to earn his freedom and then buy his own place, and so successful then that his family prospered like crazy. In fact, there's books about this guy and how many of us in the US are related to him, just in some either directly or indirectly related to this guy. I can't remember his name.
I know Gabriella at school.
One of your classmates.
Her great grandpa was Abraham Lincoln. Not great, but there's a bunch of.
Oh yeah, she's got a descendant to Abraham. That's cool. Really nice run going of 108 to 275 of the Flash. Yeah, those are early silver and bronze. Wow, go for it, Bob. I've taught third grade, Tony, most of my time in elementary school. I'm currently an administrator, but I spent about 12 years or 13 years teaching third grade. So most of my time has been in third grade. So that would be like 9-year-old kids, more or less. Aren't we all immigrants, right? If you come from Europe, your family was probably poor because you were trying to get away from that life and get a better one, right? That was the goal. My kids are in Germany from the Army. Chuck Norris are in Germany from the Army. Chuck Norris, Broderick. But yeah, my brother played basketball in Germany for 2 years too. So I got to visit him a bunch and travel with the team a little bit. It was a lot of fun. All right, so you don't want to talk about Boba Fett Obi-Wan at all? Because I mean, that third episode, Charlie, come on.
You can start ranting.
You want me to rant about the third episode? I didn't make you enough food. Half an apple, 5 cherries. Was there another piece of fruit, I thought? I can't remember. 2 eggs, 2 pieces of toast.
3.5.
And you still need a yogurt. You're growing. You must be growing.
Still gonna be hungry after this one.
Gore says, my mother's mother-in-law was German. She met her American husband during the war, fell in love, moved to Texas, thought Texas was like the films, disappointed when she got there.
He meant his sister's mother-in-law.
Yeah, we were talking a little genealogy. He's got ties to Robert E. Lee and Daniel Boone. That's cool. That's cool. Govardell says, my sister's mother-in-law, I meant. Okay. I have a couple of players playing pro ball in Germany. Nice, Coach Vic. Yeah, my brother played in a town called, it looks like Wolfenbüttel, but it's got the umlaut. So it goes like Wolfenbüttel, something like that. Wolfenbüttel, something like that. And it's near the big Volkswagen factory in Wolfsburg. It's like really close by, up in the northern part of Germany. And he played there for 2 years and he loved it. He had a great time. And they have a really long basketball season. He would get there for spring training in August, and he wouldn't come home until the end of June. So it was like a school year, the length of it. It's crazy. My friend's shepherd is from Germany. Ha! Is it a German shepherd? Dun, dun, dun. It sounds like Wolfenpudel. I mean, it does, right? A little bit. So I'm going to say the third episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi I got so emotional watching it because it was the first time in a really long time that I felt like I was watching Star Wars like I was when I was a kid. And it's not that I haven't liked Star Wars because I own a ton of them and I loved a lot of stuff and some of those, that episode really captured the nostalgia of watching and being involved in Star Wars for me. Just like Rogue One, I would say, is the only other time I've really felt it since the original trilogy. And they really captured something. The sequence, and I without spoiling Obi-Wan too much, obviously everybody knows Hayden Christensen and Darth Vader are in this movie, so it's not a spoiler. But it was amazing to see two moments captured in that episode for me. One, Obi-Wan realizing Anakin was still alive, that emotional reaction, and being scared to see him, being scared to, being worried of how he would feel. That the emotional experience on the face of Ewan McGregor, incredible. Second, when he sees him, when Obi-Wan sees Vader as he is now, when he sees what Anakin looks like now, Ewan McGregor acted his pants off in that episode. Like the fear, the panic, it was not, he had almost no lines of dialogue from when Vader shows up to the end of the episode. He maybe had 2 lines. The rest of it was just his face, and it was so good. On top of which, the cinematography and the lighting through the chase, where there was almost no light except for the buttons on Vader's chest and the 2 lightsabers. So this red and this blue, and it was just like, it was so cool, man. It was so cool. That little chase through the desert between the 2 of them, I was just on the edge of my seat. And I don't want to spoil how it ends or any of that, but the build up to it and it was just perfectly done. And I geeked for the entirety of the whole thing. I felt like a kid again watching that. I was just in it completely. So I will say, I didn't love episode 1 or 2 or 4. I've been enjoying it completely. I've been enjoying it a bunch. I'm not hating on any of it, but episode 3 was on a different level. It was just on a whole other level. And yeah, like Kyle, that lighting was bonkers. They lit whole scenes just with lightsabers. And it was this bright blue face on Obi-Wan, and he's trying to run through the desert using his lightsaber as a flashlight almost. It was crazy. And then Vader would just appear, all in black, but the lightsaber would just be like, and it was like, I mean, it was phenomenal. Phenomenal. Love it.
It was cool.
Yeah. There were some cool comments, though, about genealogy. It looks like Donnie's getting into it. He says he's traced his roots back to the 1600s. His relatives have gone even further back to discover those 2 historical figures. Awesome. Tony says, I was 10 when the original Star Wars came out, and that 3rd episode transported me back, all that darkness and fear and power, right? Fully. Yes, this right here. And I was born when the original film came out. I was 3 when Empire came out, and I was 6 when Return of the Jedi came out. So I don't know that I saw it. I might have seen Return of the Jedi in the theater, but that was probably it. I was reading about the migration of red hair among different populations, and it's coming from the Huns in Central Asia. Didn't know that. And yeah, man, I was so caught up in the visuals in that sequence because it wasn't about the dialogue, right? It was about the drama. Sorry, Star Wars makes my brain short. I'm sorry about that. And according to some of the Mormon info, I have ties all the way back to Charlemagne, but a lot of missing connections that make that a little suspect. I mean, I get it. Werewolf says Star Wars was the first movie I ever saw in the cinema. He's been a fan ever since. I mean, I get it. But this little chase and this battle captured the same emotion I had as a kid seeing Vader with Obi-Wan in the Death Star and seeing Vader walk into that white hallway in the original film looking for Leia. Like, all of that stuff. It was really well done. The Inquisitors with their spinning sabers, right? Those things were cool, right? That was cool, right? That was cool.
What do you do with the Force?
Yeah, because they're Jedi or former Jedi, right? I don't know the specifics of how that all works because, I haven't seen the animated shows where they kind of give you all that. At some point, we keep trying to make time for it, but it's hard with so much great nerddom out there. You really have to start with the stuff that you're really loving.
Like
Ms. Marvel?
No.
Like me?
No.
Like X-Men?
No.
What are you talking about?
Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet is a nerd culture?
I don't know, is it?
I mean, I guess
I'm
you could
just
say
using
that.
it as things that we need to get done and stuff we need to watch.
Gotcha. John trying to get validation from Charlie. How cool is the spinning lightsabers? And she's just like, yeah. Was Reva a child at the temple? And so what do you think you think maybe she's mad at Obi-Wan for not saving her, but then you think she would be mad at Vader for what he did. It's interesting that she's so loyal to Vader and so wanting to punish Obi-Wan. I find that dynamic very interesting.
Maybe it's like, I don't know, maybe she's just using Vader.
She clearly has a whole other part to her story that we haven't seen them dive into at this point. But I'm curious about it. Very, very curious about it.
I hope the other guy, Turtlehead, dies.
The Turtlehead guy? She's Mace Windu's undercover Padawan.
Or she's Mace Windu's daughter.
Maybe.
No, it's not.
Maybe.
Never thought.
I mean, she's killed a ton of Jedi. I kind of have a feeling that she can't be a good guy in hiding. I don't know.
Because at that point, you would not have asked to be on those missions.
Because she's not doing a very good job of like helping people if she's just killing them all. I don't know. Right. It's an interesting theory though. How is she tied into all this? She would have been pretty darn young, in maybe her teenage years, when the temple was, when they slaughtered everybody. I don't know. How did they choose which Jedi they would bring in as Inquisitors and which ones they would just kill? Because it seemed like the order was just kill them all. No time to sort any of these guys out. Yet somehow a bunch of them became Inquisitors at the same time. I don't know how that all played out. That'd be interesting. Bob says, I come from a long line of drinking, fighting, singing, and Finians who regularly looked for ways to commit a little treason against the crown, and they were damn proud of it. So he's got that Irish ancestry. I've yet to find any. With a name like John Jameson, you'd think I'd have a ton of Irish connections, but it's very British. Very, very British. What's up, JD, the Raging Cajun here? Need Windu to kill some snakes on a plane with his purple lightsaber.
Why snakes on a plane?
It's a joke because Samuel L. Jackson did a movie called Snakes on a Plane. It was a pretty silly, odd action movie. They need a Harry Potter sorting hat. Uh-oh. No Jar Jar Binks. Yeah, we don't need the return of Jar Jar Binks unless he's a Sith Lord.
Yeah.
And then I think fans will be interested for more of that. Who knows? We are going to get out of here. I think we've hit on the big stuff we wanted to hit on, and we got a day ahead of us.
Including?
You keep saying we're going to watch Romeo and Juliet. I'm not promising that.
I know.
Whatever. So our plan is to, we got birthday parties this weekend. We got hangout times this weekend. And yeah. So that's our big weekend. I've got to put some comics away. I got to reorganize and put some stuff away, clean up some stuff. And that's what we're working on around here. I hope everybody has a really, really great day. Lady Fantastic says it's really good. You'll get to watch it. Don't worry. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Hope everybody spends some time doing something fun. And we will be in and out of chats. I have a Lego set on the way, JD. And I still haven't finished the Batman one. I even brought it out here just in case the girls didn't wake up. I was like, maybe I'll finish building the Batmobile.
But we woke up.
But you did wake up. Have a great weekend, folks. We will see you back here soon. Thanks for hanging out.